Hi everyone, so today I want to show you a 6x6 double display pop-up canopy card. Now I'm going to be doing this using first edition papers. This is one of the cards I made a while ago. So this was the card I made, and then I also made this in my live stream as well. But today I'm going to be making it using the Trimcraft Oh So Sweet paper pad. I really like this paper pad. I think it's really cool. Very nice, lovely colours, and it's right up my street, to be honest with you. So this is the pad we're going to be using. So what we're going to need to do is you need to get yourself a piece of 6x12 base card. Now if you want to use a 6x6 card blank, you can. These are actually Dovecraft card blanks from a while ago now. I think they still do them, but they are actually 6x6, which is good. You need to make sure that your card blanks are actually 6x6. Sometimes you can get cards that are 5 3/4 or 5 7/8, but these are actually 6x6. This side isn't. There's a little bit of a lip there, but it's fine. We can work it out. So that's your card base. So if you've got a 6x12, you're just going to score it down the middle at 6 inches to make your 6x6 card blank. So then you want to get yourself 2 pieces of pattern paper. In fact, you need 2 pieces of matte first. 2 pieces of matte that are 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and 2 patterns that are 5.5 by 5.5. Now this is obviously the Oh So Sweet paper. This one here is actually part of the Dovecraft Lilac card pack. Okay, so this is the card pack. As you can see, I use it a lot. There's lots of used bits at the front there, but this is the one, and these are really good deal. I definitely advise anybody, if you're starting out or if you're a crafter, full stop, this is a very good pack to get. You get 50 sheets, 5 colours, 10 of each colour. They're 180 GSM, so although normally you wouldn't use that for a base card, for this card style, you want something that's about 180, 200 GSM. You don't want to go much more than that. Because otherwise it is a bit of a problem. So yeah, but I just love the tonal colours you get. They've also do it in various other colours, pinks, they do a reds pack, I think they do a blues and a greens as well. But yeah, so have a look on drkcrafts.co.uk and you'll see all they've got, but these are really good. So I'm going to go ahead now, stick my pattern onto my mat and then stick them both into the card itself. Okay, so that is the middle of your card down. Now if you want to as well, you can go ahead and put a matte piece on the back and a white piece. So your matte will be the same as you've got here, 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and your white piece will be 5.5 by 5.5. I'm probably not going to bother because this is white anyway, so I think I'm just going to stamp my greeting and write on the back as it is. But if you want to finish it off, you know, really nicely, then I would get a matte and a pattern. I'm also not going to do anything on the front, just because I feel like this is like the main thing. So if you want to put something on the front, you can. So then what we want to do is we're going to bring in 2 pieces of matte cards. I'm going with matte, not with the base. And these, as I said, these are 180, so they're normally a bit flimsy for this kind of thing. However, because of the way this is going to be put together, and also because the patterns are 200, I don't have a problem with using this. So these, you need 2 pieces that are 5 by 7 and 2 pieces that are 4 by 6. So on the 2 pieces that are 5 by 7, you're going to score along the long edge, and you're going to score 1/2 inch, 1 inch and 1.5, and then turn it round, and on the other side you're just going to score 1/2 inch. Okay, so we're going to repeat that again on this piece here. And then on your 2 pieces that are 4 by 6, you can do exactly the same again. So you're going to score 1/2, 1 inch and 1.5, turn it round, and on the other side you're going to score at 1/2. Okay, so next what you want to do is you're going to go ahead and fold all of your pieces. So on this one here, this needs to be a mountain fold. And then at the bottom here, you've got mountain, valley, mountain. Okay, so you should end up with 4 pieces, 2 little and 2 big. And now what you want to do is you want to bring in your pattern pieces. So you want 2 pieces that are 4.5 by 4.5 and 2 pieces that are 3.5 by 3.5. And these are going to go on the front here, But what we want to do first is we want to be cutting out our apertures. Now I've got quite a big gap around the outside here. If you want to, you can make it slightly bigger. So you can make them 4 3/4 by 4 3/4 and 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 if you don't want such a big gap. I've done it like this just because then this one is going to go on and then you'll have the same gap all the way around. So you'll have a gap, that gap is the same as that one, which will be the same as this one here. So that's why I've done it that way around. But if you want to, you can, you know, do it a bit smaller. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the pattern first. And what we need to do is this is going to be at the back. So if I just bring my sample card in here. So as you can see on this one here, that's got the smallest aperture. So the pattern's got, this has got the smallest, the mat, and then the pattern is slightly bigger. And then this one here is slightly bigger again. On the birthday one that I did, I made this the same as that, and it just didn't work as well. You really want to keep going up. So for that reason, I've got my 3 dies here. So we're going to go for the middle one, which is this one. And this is going to go in the middle here, nice and central, well, as central as you can get it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go run that through the die cutting machine. Okay, so you end up with obviously your pattern piece with a hole in it. So what you want to do is take your piece that is concertina and lay it so that the left hand side has the 1 tab in the middle and this bit's on the left. Okay, so that's going to go on like that. And this one is the other way around. So you've got the 1 tab on the left and the concertina on the right. Okay, so what we want to do now is we're going to just position this so it's nice and central, as if you're sticking it down. Obviously I'm not, but as if you are. Let's get your hearts the right way up. So probably about there. And then you take your smallest die, lay that in the middle there, tape it down, and then we're going to run that through the die cutting machine. So we can take that off. And then when you put it through the die cutting machine, you want to make sure that this bit here is dangling off the edge of the plate, okay? Just because then you're not going to end up squashing it, that's the thing. So if I just bring my plates in, I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to put it so that this is dangling off the edge there. Put that over the top. So you've just got the 1 fold line underneath. Everything else is dangling off the edge. So you end up with that. Obviously these circles are all spare, but you can use them on other projects. So then you can go ahead and stick that down onto there. But before that, before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and cut the other one as well. Now one thing I would do before you cut your holes, which I didn't do, is if I were you, I would definitely go ahead and put tape on the back first. I've forgotten, but it's fine. We've got this Easy Fix tape runner, so this makes things much easier. I can just go along and just tape up my edges, and I can tape around my circle without too much trouble. When you do use these rollers, just make sure when you finish rolling, you kind of whiz it off just quickly to one side, and that will save you. If you do this, you'll end up with this big gluey string. So the best way to do it is have it a kind of a, you don't want to have it too like up, you want to have it sort of downish, but not too much down. And then you just want to just go round. The great thing with these is you've got no backing to deal with. You just need to make sure that you're flicking them properly. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stick this down. I'm going to do the other one as well. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and add red tape onto the 2 end tabs. So then what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stick these down, but I'm only going to stick this first tab, just the 1 tab down for now, just in case I want to add any kind of a greeting behind this. It's just easier if you just do one, just the middle tab first. So you've got that, but obviously they are flappable at the moment, just so you can add extra in if you want to. So now we're going to deal with these smaller pieces. So what you want to do with this is you are going to Now you can either cut a just one aperture, which is what I'm going to do this time, which is what I did here, but it just means you don't have that nice frame, okay? Or you can cut one with a slightly bigger one, which is what I did here, but you need to be careful because if you go too big, you're going to end up eating into your pattern paper. So it's really up to you which way you want to do it. I'm going to go with this option because I can always put things around the outside of the frame. So I need to take my my paper, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick it straight down, but I need to make sure I glue really well behind. So I'm literally going to glue the whole thing, stick it down, and then we're going to cut through all the layers with our biggest die. See, if I go much bigger with that circle, I'm eating right into my pattern, so I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead now and stick these down, and I'll come back to you in a minute. So now I'm going to go ahead and just put this on here like this, make sure again it's central, and then I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine. And again, just make sure that this concertina bit is hanging off the edge of your plate. Okay, so you should end up with two pieces. Obviously you're making sure your thing's in the centre and that's on the outside. So two pieces that are like that. So now we just need to go ahead and add our red tape either end. Okay, so you've done your red tape. So if you bring your other card back in, and what you want to do is you're going to peel off again just the centre piece, just the single flap, and you're just going to stick it down on here and just make sure that your aperture marries up. You've got a nice even border around the outside, and then you can go ahead and just stick that middle piece down. Obviously the left side is flapping again because you don't know what you know, you might want to put something coming through the aperture. So we're going to go ahead and do this side as well. Okay, I've just found a thanks. I would have preferred to have something on both sides, but I'm just going to go with a thanks, it's fine. And I've got all these little stamped and coloured sweet treat type things that I've found. I got some stamps, so I did that. I don't know where they're from, but yeah. So I've stamped and coloured those. So I'm now going to go ahead and stick my thanks down. So I'm just going to flip this out of the way. Now if I want to, I can put a little strip behind there to hold it. But because I think I've probably got enough there that I can just stick it down just with a bit of glue or probably tape. I'm not sure. Actually, let's use some... I'm going to use the Dovecraft Ultimate Craft Glue because I love this stuff and it sticks so well. So I'm going to use that. Once you glue it, you're never going to take that off. So I'm just going to turn this round and just put a little bit on the end here. When you squeeze it, just be careful it doesn't come out all in one go, because sometimes it can do that, so just be really careful. You can see it coming down the nozzle, which is good, really handy. They've made it kind of like a slightly see-through nozzle. Right, so we're going to go ahead and stick this onto here like that. And then now I've done that, I can go ahead and stick this down. I'm not going to leave that a second just to dry. I'll do the other side first. So on this side here, I'm going to go ahead and stick this down, I think. Do I want any little thingy bobs peeking out from behind? I might do actually. I was going to have them on the top, but I'm wondering if I should have them peeking out. I might have a little cheeky ice cream cone poking out there, I think. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit of red tape on his base. I could use glue again, but I just want it to make sure it's definitely stuck straight away and I don't have to be thinking about it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of red tape just on the base of his cone. And then that can then go in here, with him poking out like that, looking kind of cheeky. And then the rest I'm going to add on the front of that other one. So I'm going to go ahead, take off the backing on here, and then I'm just going to concertina the whole thing down nice and flat and stick it down. If you want to, it's actually easier if you can just part peel and then peel it off. But that's going to be on there like that. And then I've got a whole load more of his little friends here. We've got a little pile of pancakes and a little cake and a cup of coffee kind of lots of things. So I'm just going to go ahead now and decorate up. Just want to make sure I don't obscure him too much. Okay, so I've stuck those down. I'm now just going to quickly go ahead and just finish off sticking these two bits down, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put pearls around the rest of the frame, and I'm going to use these really small pearls, and these are Love to Craft pearls, and they're DRK Crafts again. So I'm just going to go ahead now and stick these layers down. Just make sure you fold up your concertina each time. Okay, so just added a few of the little fun creatures on there, and also added some of those little pearls just around the top. I was going to go around the whole aperture, but I decided just to do a little bit just in the top corners there. So I've done that. That does add a little bit of bulk. When you shut it, you've got a bit of bulk where the two lots of pearls, you can probably see, butt against each other. You could get around that by folding it in the card that way round. You just need to make sure the recipient knows to open it up and put it like that. But yeah, or you could put a bit of foam inside just so it doesn't, you know, protects them. That's the other option. Obviously it's going to make it more chunky, but if you don't want that extra bulk, just leave your pearls off. So yeah, so that's the card for today. I hope you like it. I actually really like the way this has turned out. I wouldn't normally stamp and colour, but I'm happy with the way they've turned out. Obviously you've got space on the back for to write. I'm going to put a I'm going to stamp a greeting, or put a, you know, a piece of matte and then white on the back and stamp a greeting. But yeah, so that's the card for today. So make sure you check out drkcrafts.co.uk. I'll put, as I said, in the description below all the links to all the products I've used, apart from the stamps and this, because I'm not sure where they came from, but everything else, the card, the mat and the pattern and the pearls, I'll put all that in the description below. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Leave a comment down below, and I will see you next time. Bye.